Hello, my name is Mario Leone, and I'm happy to be here today on the 5 Minute Bark podcast. I'm from New York, and I'm a professional screenwriter, and I'm here to share with you the power of story and structure of your story so it can apply to you no matter if you are a coach or a business person or just an average Joe that wants to enhance their social media presence with a better story. Then this is for you. I just wanted to start with telling my own story. My own story, well, I was that young little boy who just loved to write as a child. I loved writing ever since I was a child. But as I grew up with a learning disability, and I'm also partially sighted as well. And the teachers, I had a couple teachers that said, you'll never become a writer. And that was probably the harshest, toughest moment in my life. They said, well, you'll never become a writer. You won't be able to write. And I was like that young child who was a little bit rebellious and said, watch me. I'm going to do it. So as I got older, the desire for telling stories, and I was writing stories as I was young, and I started writing more and more stories. And when I literally came up into my 40s, I finally said, you know what? I want to do this professionally. I want to tell stories. I want to make an impact. I want to emotionally bring out the best in people through a story. I want to tell a story that really can impact and influence others. So that was kind of the core essence of my story, is that I had to struggle when I was younger, and I just decided to push forward. That was my wall, if you will. That was my block. And then someone came along and said, you can do it. And even in the point in my career, I had a writing coach. I went to a writing coach. I said, you know what, if I'm going to do this, if I'm going to be a professional writer, I am going to go back and overhaul all my English. I literally was going to go back and rework everything from the bottom up. And I had a writing coach. And when I first met with my writing coach and I handed them an actual script, the words out of her mouth was, you barely need me. Are you sure you want a coach? And I said, yes, why? And she says, you're a phenomenal writer. And I was just, that was the first moment of having somebody with an English degree say to me, wow, you are a writer that is really a strong and powerful and emotional delivery of story. It was just, it took me back. Emotionally, it took me back.
You're watching the 5 Minute Bark podcast on YouTube. If you like this episode, you just may like many more. Subscribe today by clicking the red subscribe button in the top right-hand corner.